lies from the scummy MSF devs continue. After months of pushing for Apocalypse, we had a major bombshell dropped on us this past Friday. Useless minions are going to be required for the final Scourge event. And also, build up your war dogs if you want to do the heroic difficulty of Nakia's event. I'm going to talk about how these two things break the MSF devs' commitments to the community from year one. More importantly, what you can do if you don't like the direction of Scopely is taking this game. So if you are ready for all of that, Valley Club, you know what to do. Find that like button. Let's go smash it.
ValleyFlyin.
What is up, Valley Maniacs? Welcome back to the ValleyFlyin channel. I am ValleyFlyin. I hope you're having a great weekend. I hope you're safe. I hope you're healthy. And I am a lot healthier than I was on Friday, where I was feeling very bad. I was sick, but still a little under the weather. But I did want to make a video this week and reacting to Friday's blog post, that trashy 2-week-long blog post, or that blog post covering 2 weeks of content as the devs go on vacation for this week for Thanksgiving. Because as we know, the devs of Marvel Strike Force take every opportunity to take off and take breaks as often as they can, because they probably are the laziest devs for any game that I played. Anyway, we're going to talk about this blog post and the two major bombshells that was dropped to us. Minions required for the Death Scourge. So if you want to get Apocalypse, if you've been chasing Apocalypse this whole year, trying to get all the requirements, all the horsemen, well, you're going to need to do another final thing. Build up your minions in order to get Death. And then you can use Death to get Apocalypse. And also the changes to this Nakia event. And we saw a preview of, and I was hoping they would change that before it was finally released. But we saw the update notes that war dogs would be required for Nakia's event, not just Wakandans, not like they usually do with other traits. No, war dogs only. So that is not a good thing. So we're going to talk about all of these things, and more importantly, what you can do if you don't like the direction that Scopely's been taking this game. You know, we've had player strikes and spending strikes and all this stuff. That doesn't really work, but what has worked in the other games, I'm gonna talk about what you guys can do. Now, if this is your first time here, hit that subscribe button for more great Marvel Strike Force and Marvel gaming content. When I'm not out of town and not sick, at least 5 Marvel gaming videos per week on this channel. So stay tuned for all that. But let's talk about some history. Let's go back 4 years and talk about what the devs' message to the MSF community was all the way back on August 31st, 2018. And this is from the Marvel Strike Force dev team. And to be clear, this game was owned by Foxnext back in 2018. And this Foxnext did sell the company to Disney. Disney sold the company to Scopely, and Scopely has owned it now. But all through that time, the major devs have stayed the same. There have been some people that have left and other people that have replaced them, but overall, the studio is pretty much the same. So this message is from the Marvel Strike Force devs, regardless if Scopely owned them or not. And this blog was a response to all the backlash that the community was giving the Marvel Strike Force devs about the Kree minions required for the Nick Fury event. And that caused a lot of outrage. This was around the time that the Deadpool raids were coming out, which were only for 2 hours and were causing alliances a lot of stress. Just major backlash to everything that was going on at the time. And this was the response. So they talk about the consistent value and rewards. They weren't being as good. The communicating change, they weren't very good at communicating change. I don't know if they've really done well at that this now, because we're getting a lot of this information that I feel that we should have gotten way back in the day. We're getting it very last minute, some of them. Now, some we do get with advance notice, but some things like these minions being required, not good. All right, we want to provide lower price offers more frequently, and we'll start to work these in as well. This was something I read there that I thought was funny, but not just really pertaining to the blog post. But let's get into to talk about what exactly pertaining to the blog post. So this is what they said 4 years ago. In the longer term, we're committing to making sure characters needed for legendary events are also relevant outside the legendary event. This can mean individual buffs or creating greater synergy bonuses among the group required. For example, before we'd require them for a legendary event, we'd evaluate the appeal of groups like AIM or Hydra. Now, they have broken this word before. This is not the first time they've lied on this commitment to make the requirements for legendary events not useless. First was Hand Assassin, required for Phoenix. Next, we probably had a few other useless characters like the Pimtech characters, although they were okay in some game modes. But Winter Soldier for Omega Red, that was pretty useless as well. But yeah, now we're getting minions, useless, trashy minions, which no one who starts playing Marvel Strike Force starts playing it so they could play with hand minions or AIM minions or Hydra minions. I don't think anybody comes to this game so they could use those characters. So that is just the trash that's being required. And we're also going to group campaign and events to allow players to focus their efforts on fewer characters at a time, providing greater roster requirement overlap among events happening around the same time period. And this is kind of, this is not what is happening with this Nakia event, because if you want to do the event, you're forced to build up these war dogs right now. And the other thing they said, they're grateful for the opportunity to build this experience with you. A lot of their recent decisions doesn't seem like they're grateful. Their words will say that, but all their actions in game don't really indicate that. So let's go take a look at this blog post, some of the highlights of this blog post, what has really upset the community. And if we look at this, we go to Reddit here, all these posts here, minions are not relevant outside the legendary event. Minions in Death Scourge. The problem is not with the minions themselves. I think the problem is with the minions themselves, but there's other problems that this post describes. PSA announced with its devs, and I think that is about no one wants to play with these minions. Is the game in a weird state, or is it just me? I think the game is in a weird state. Require Nakia for her is a step in the wrong direction. Yeah, so that's all the reaction. Let's go take a look at what some of the highlights here. Right, the War Dog campaign. This is going to start on November 21st, so tomorrow. And what they say here is they must have some very creative spin doctors working for them at SCUMMY, because they're saying that the Dogs of War event campaign will feature a structure that'll make obtaining Nakia character shards easier, while giving you opportunity to have fun with Nakia and our war dogs in battle. Unless they're significantly changing all these events, which the in-game preview doesn't appear that way. Yeah, it doesn't look like you're gonna get more Nakia shards there. So that is another lie from the SCUMMY devs. Unless I'm missing something there. We'll see when it officially announces. Maybe we'll get some surprises the next day or so. But as it seems now, another lie. Anyway, easy difficulty. So once you've recruited Nakia, then you can attempt the hard missions. So if you don't have Nakia in your roster, you didn't buy her, well, you cannot even do the hard difficulty, which is what they did with the events before. You can use a big selection of characters with a limited time trait for these events. Now you can only use these specific characters, and if you want to get more shards for these characters, you actually have to use your resources and build them up just to do this event. Maybe you're not someone that focuses on war. Maybe you don't want to do war, but if you want to do this event, you're gonna need to build up these war dogs. Anyway, the hard difficulty. After you've recruited Nakia, you can attempt hard difficulties. So battle with Nakia and other characters of your choice. So you're gonna need Nakia to do that hard difficulty. If you didn't buy her, you're gonna have to go through that easy difficulty first. And if you wanna do that heroic difficulty, you gotta make sure not only that you unlock Black Panther 1mm for the first Panther event, you're gonna need to build them up to at least level 75, and I believe you're gonna need to put some gear on them as well. If we go in game though, there's no indication of some actual requirements other than what it says down here, Nakia and War Dogs. And if we look, it has some recommendations of level 85, your tier 15, ability 6. They have some recommendations here, but as far as I can see, and this may change when it officially announces, it requires only Nakia for these hard missions and only Nakia and War Dogs for these other missions. Now, the big thing with this is that it's the resources that you have to put into all these characters right now. And in the first few days, at least until you unlock Nakia, you're kind of missing out on some shards there. So not the best look SCUMMY for all this stuff. All right, so the Covert Orb, that's where you can get the Nakia shards, and then you're getting some associated events. So not only are we getting a campaign event, It is an event associated with a campaign and all those orbs that is also starting on that same day on the Spy Games event. Even more rewards. So let's take a look at some of these rewards. Well, this is where you're gonna earn that big here, these razor sharp claws here. That's gonna be worth a lot of points for that Black Panther 1mm event. And to do that, well, you're gonna need to spend power cores or earn Spy Game milestone points. And you're gonna earn that by playing in the event. Also associated with that Spy Game milestone is this dead drop milestone. We can earn more stuff there. This looks pretty run-of-the-mill event. Same thing with these web milestones, and start to save your ISO 8 energy. Maybe don't use that extra energy. Don't use your refreshes until November 25th. So this coming Friday at 1 p.m. you got another coordinated assault. So start to hoard your free refreshes if you're not spending ISO 8 every single day. So you and your alliance could get those vibranium meteorites and some of those blue ISO 8-4. All right, and following the Nakia event next week, because this is a 2-week blog post, we have this Claws of Fury event. Haven't really looked at all the numbers, see how bad this one is. On the surface though, just glancing at it, not doing all the calculations, this seems like a pretty run-of-the-mill event. Only thing is you're gonna need to save some power cores, and this is one that you're gonna wanna probably save your arena rewards here. So this, we don't have a specific date on this. I'm assuming this is all gonna start on November 28th though. So start to save your power cores from your arena rewards. Just make sure that they don't expire. Rogue's event is back. It is back in the game right now. So if you have not gotten all your stars for Rogue, then make sure you do that Scourge event. And if you want some extra resources, you already have that 7-star Rogue, you can do that as well. I actually forgot to do it for Pestilence. Leaderboard changes. There were some leaderboard changes for this last Pestilence event. And it looks like the tiebreaker is going to be the first one to do that score. So if you have the exact same score as another person, whoever got that score first is going to be placed higher on the leaderboard. All right, and this is the big bombshell, guys, the Death Scourge requirements. And if we look at what the requirements are for this event, you see that in the Death Scourge requirements for difficulty 7 above. Nodes 1 and 2, minions. Trashy, useless minions in Marvel Strike Force right now. I don't have a lot of minions built up, and because they're not good. And a lot of these minions, unfortunately, you need named characters to make them work. A lot of the kits have synergy with these named characters, and minions just kind of suck. The heroes, pretty easy to get characters for. The Bionic Avengers and Wakandans, we knew about them. We've been building them up for a while. Non-legendary mutants, very, very easy to find some teams there. Same thing with legendary characters, a lot of strong legendary characters in the game. And then same thing for the Bionic Avengers and Wakandans. The big thing here is these minions required on nodes 1 and 2. And they are doubling down on that. On a special note, all 3 Scourges affect minions, all the new Scourges. Undead Swarms, Rise Anew, and Super Soldier Serum. These Scourges are all worth a hefty 23 points and will affect all minions in battle, player minions included. Keep these Scourges in mind, especially for first 2 nodes which require minion characters, and they be used strategically to support your own minions. Sounds very, very bad, and this looks like because this was planned out like this, I'm hoping there still is time to go back on this decision. I hope they can still change this, but it looks like with in conjunction with these Scourges being affected by that, I hope they still can do this. Now there's a Cyber Turkey hunt. It looks like there's going to be some offers, and yeah, if there is an offer, there was some fancy Cyber Turkeys trotting around. You could get all these Cyber Turkeys by buying stuff. So I don't know if this is Thanos Giving 2.0 or this is just another one here. There's another milestone associated with these Cyber Turkey event. We'll see what happens though. It's always hard to see what's going on with these events until they're actually released, because as we know, some of these blog posts are very inaccurate, and more updates to the MSF.GG. One of the big things here, one of the good things here on this blog post, Mr. Negative available for free starting on November 28th. We're gonna log in, kind of like the daily login that we got Wolverine through. You're gonna have to go to the web and you could get Mr. Negative all the way to 7 stars. So yeah, first will be 10 shards. They're gonna be every single day for 5 shards. So whether you like the web store or not, if you want Mr. Negative, you're gonna have to log into there. And that is pretty much all the major events. Now, let's talk about my reaction, my initial reaction that I posted on Twitter. And it was, hey, SCUMMY, Marvel Strike Force, how about a big you to the person who thought requiring minions for Death Scourge was a good idea? You really know how to suck the life out of a game. Trashy greed. This one got a lot of likes, 112 likes, a lot of retweets, and a lot of replies here. You guys could go check that out on my Twitter. Also, this was sent a little bit after that. Marvel Strike Force and SCUMMY, accountability has never been good with your company. What a bunch of idiotic liars you are. This was your response to the community from 4 years ago when the backlash about requiring useless cream minions for the Nick Fury event. And this was something that I just read from that blog post there. And again, a lot of likes, a lot of retweets, and a lot of responses here. So thank you everybody for that responded there. Now, what can you do? If you don't like the direction that this game is going in, if you don't like the direction that SCUMMY has taken this game, it seems like things are getting bad, bugs, oh, trashy requirements. Oh no, you could only, if you want to do this event, you have to pay for it. Seems like it's going in that direction, and it is taking the fun out of Marvel Strike Force. But more importantly, what is it doing to your perception of this Marvel IP? Is it ruining your perception of this Marvel IP? That is the angle I think we could get change going on, because that is how Bill Roseman helped the players over at Marvel Contest of Champions. When the players were outraged about a lot of different things going on in the game, the players reached out to Bill Roseman, did a campaign reaching out to him. And who is Bill Roseman? Well, he is the VP and creative director of Marvel Games. So he's in charge of Marvel Games. At Bill Roseman on Twitter is where you could reach him. So send him your thoughts, send him what you think is happening, what this game, Marvel Strike Force, SCUMMY's decisions, Boundless's decisions, what is it doing to your perception of this Marvel IP? Is it making you not like Marvel? Is it making you detest Marvel? If it is, I think he'd like to hear that. So I'm gonna send him my thoughts. I hope you do the same. And I hope we can get some change, some positive change going on in Marvel Strike Force, because we definitely need it. It's been way too long since there's been, some positive. It seems like we get some positive and a few negatives going on for a long time. But that is it, guys. Hopefully you have a great rest of your weekend. Hopefully you're staying safe. And if you're celebrating Thanksgiving, I hope you have a great Thanksgiving this holidays. All right. I will see you guys next time, and have a great one, guys. Hulk fist bump, ValleyFlyin out.